Hey guys, so it's just me today. As you can see, I'm on the set alone. It worked out best that I actually did the filming today instead of Dan, because with his work schedule and everything that's kind of crazy right now, it just made the most sense. So yeah, this isn't going to be quite as smooth as usual because I'm not a very good talker. I don't like really talking in front of people, and especially looking just at you and this camera is pretty intimidating. So yeah, I just thought today that since Dan got to share his testimony the other day, that I would share mine. So basically, because you guys don't really get to hear much about me all the time, I'm kind of Dan's sidekick, and I let him do most of the talking most of the time, and that's just kind of our personalities. So I wanted to just let you guys get to know me a little bit more, so you can kind of see where I'm coming from, and so you can hear my story. Basically, I was raised in a Christian home. I have 7 siblings, so we have a super big family, and we're all biological. And my parents raised us always going to church. We went to church every Sunday. We were always there. We had family devotions every night before bed. And, you know, our parents really tried to instill the idea of faith for us. I feel like because of that, though, we kind of became dependent on them for our faith, I would say. You know, it wasn't really our choice to go to church. It wasn't really our choice to do devotions at night. So, to be honest, I always grew up wanting to please God and wanting to do what was right. But it was never really, I don't know, it wasn't really my own, I guess I would say. So right before my junior year of high school, or not my junior year, I'm sorry, my freshman year of high school, my family moved to a town that was bigger to us. It wasn't very big compared to the grand scheme of things, but to us it was bigger, and it was a little nerve-wracking at first because it was a new school and I was going into high school and everything, and I really kind of got my focus off of what was the right path. At this point, I feel like I had asked Jesus into my heart like multiple times. I was one of those kids that probably said the prayer of salvation, you know, hundreds of times because I just wanted to make sure, and I never really felt confident that I was saved. You know, I would have that feeling, and then, you know, I guess I would kind of start doing my own thing, and it would just not feel as real, and I'd want to ask Jesus in my heart again. And so it was kind of a continual cycle. But in high school, I kind of got off of the right track, I would say. And I don't think a lot of people would know. You know, a lot of people would think, you know, I was a Christian girl, went to a Christian, that went to a Baptist church, and, you know, pretty typical story in that sense. But I was kind of doing my own thing. I really got interested in boys, and, you know, as soon as I moved there, I was dating a guy, and I got more involved than I wanted to, and after that, one thing leads to another, and it kind of got hard for me to even say no to people. And I got in a lot of circumstances that I wish I wouldn't have, and it just, you know, I got kind of down a continual cycle. So anyway, this kind of continued for probably until my junior year, really, of high school. I really decided that I wanted to make my faith my own, and that I didn't just want to, you know, take it as I'd heard it for my whole life, but I really wanted to see why I believed what I believed. And so I really started trying to read my own Bible and, you know, not just do devotions with the family, but try to do it on my own. And I really started seeking God, and I could really, you know, I really felt Him becoming more real in my life. And it was my senior year of high school that I was on a youth retreat. It was kind of like a weekend. I can't remember. It might have been like Dare to Share. If it wasn't Dare to Share, or something like that. Dare to Share is an amazing conference. But anyway, it was kind of one of those moments where, you know, everyone's eyes were closed, and they asked, you know, if you wanted to recommit yourself to God, or if you wanted to make a profession. than, just to jump up out of your seat. And I just did right away, you know what I mean? And I just felt like I wanted to recommit myself to God, because I so long had been going down a path that, I know wasn't right. And, I still loved God and I wanted to serve him, but I think when you just continue in sin, it just gets easier, you know what I mean? So it was that night that I talked to my youth pastor, and I said that I wanted to rededicate my life and basically just dive all in and become more serious about him. And that's when I really noticed a big difference in a lot of things too. Kind of got to the point where I just had to stop doubting my faith, because I feel like Satan will always put doubts in your head, and he's always going to, tell you you're not good enough, or tell you that what you've done can't be forgiven. But, it really can be. And when you feel forgiven, it's the most beautiful thing. And now that I've reached that point in my life, it's great, because now I can focus on making it more real every day. And even though that was, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, I'm still seeking him, and I'm still growing, and I'm not where I want to be yet, but I can feel a big difference. And, those things that used to be difficult for me really aren't as difficult for me anymore. I feel like God's really helped me get over those things. And, it's always been hard for me to share my story, because I feel like it seems so typical. It's not that interesting. I never, you hear those great, awesome testimonies. My husband has one of them, and it's just amazing. And I tear up every time I hear it. And I want one of those testimonies, you know what I mean? I feel like we all do. But I feel like some of us, we don't have the typical testimony, or we do, because God wants us to reach different people, you know what I mean? It's not, no matter your story, it is beautiful. And God will use it to reach the specific people that may relate to you or have similar stories. I feel like God just uses that as an opening. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's a little bit about me and my testimony, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a little bit shorter than normal, but I thank you guys for bearing with me. Dan will probably be back tomorrow, so that'll be good. All right, guys. Well, it was great talking with you all, and as always, I'm Judah, and we'll see you next time.